States while calling for a stop to the war. In a communique, ECOWAS strongly condemned this action and calls for both parties to stop the fight and to use dialogue to solve their differences in the interest of peace in the region. The regional bloc says it is following up with great concern the military invasion of the Republic of Ukraine by Russia, which has led to human casualties, particularly among the civilians. And we hear negotiations have begun as Ukrainian officials arrived at Ukraine-Belarus border for talks with Russia. President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said in a statement that the key issue of the talks is an immediate ceasefire and the withdrawal of troops from Ukraine. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed that 130 Nigerians are now safely in Bucharest, Romania, where they have been provided accommodation and will be documented and subsequently bring them back home. In a statement, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ambassador Gabriel Aduda, also disclosed that Nigerian embassy officials at the Budapest, Hungary, have received and accommodated 74 Nigerians safely, where they are being documented for subsequent travel arrangements back to Nigeria. The statement added that another batch of about 200 into the city of Budapest are expected this Monday. In Warsaw, Poland, 52 Nigerians and 23 are being processed at a Polish government reception point at Hala Kijowska. The camp is well organized with beds and beddings, food, heating, clothing and medicals for the evacuees. The ministry assures Nigerians that all hands must be on deck and arrangements are being put in place to effectively evacuate Nigerian citizens in safety and dignity. The presidency describes as a proof of harmonious working relationship between the parliament and executive President Muhammadu Buhari's assent to the Electoral Act 2022. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, in a statement emphasized that more than anything else, the law underscores government commitment to ensuring free and fair elections, dignity of citizens, opportunity and justice to all political participants, whether they are voters or candidates. The law also provides for social empowerment and inclusion by limiting the influence of money in elections and raw power of incumbents to the disadvantage of opponents, while limiting electoral violence that works against the popular wish in a poll. He recalls the 2015 and 2019 elections as landmark contests that leveled the political playing field between long-time incumbents and long-time opposition by sheer force of citizens, admitting that no democratic system of elections is perfect. He says this does not remove the fact that there were inadequacies in electoral law at the periods which affected electoral practice. The 2022 Electoral Act, he adds, was drafted in consultation with civil society organizations, NGOs, labor unions, the media, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. The law removes some bottlenecks to credible electoral process while providing for advance funding of INEC in an election season, discouraging declaration of results under duress. The Act also addresses the misuse of appointed political office as a platform and source of resources to campaign for elected political office. He submits that in the coming weeks, the Parliament and the Executive should reach a common ground on the issue raised by the President at the point of signing the law, which is the requirement for appointed political office holders to first resign before being eligible to stand for elective offices. These are crucial changes to the law which will benefit voters, not parties, empower citizens, not politicians, and strengthen our democracy as part of President Buhari's legacy to the nation. As the clock is ticking fast towards the conclusion of the processes leading to the amendment of some sections of the 1999 Constitution, the Nigerian Labour Congress is mobilizing Nigerian workers to lend their voices to the ongoing process expected to guarantee a yes vote in support of local government autonomy, independence of judiciary and legislature, as the National Assembly begins voting on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. The advocacy by the Nigerian workers is expected to lobby members of the legislature to save grassroots democracy from total collapse by voting to enthrone the principles of separation of powers.
On the issue of voting, we want overwhelming voting. We don't want even 99%. We want the members of the National Assembly, when they are voting tomorrow and next tomorrow, both the House of Rep and the Senate, on these issues, we want 100% of their vote to guarantee the independence of judiciary, to guarantee full autonomy for local government, and also to guarantee full autonomy to our legislatures. This is what will strengthen our democracy. And I think it's a patriotic call by Nigerian workers. We are going to actually name each person that failed actually to vote in this light. We will name and shame them at the end of the day.
Correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro reports that the two-day advocacy by the leadership of NLC and workers to the National Assembly is to ensure the constitutional amendment takes into consideration the need for local government system to be revived to serve the people. Now, for the new Electoral Act to be effective and reformative, Guest on NT's Good Morning Nigeria wants all political actors and the electorate to play by the rules. They also emphasized increased voter education on the provisions of the electoral law. Let's hear the details from Alika Okpanachi.
A new dawn for Nigerians' electoral process. This documents, a product of wide consultation, now gives legal backing for electronic transmission of results, with the hope of making the electoral process seamless.
The Electoral Act 2022 has made a fundamental change to the grounds of election petition. You cannot challenge election on the basis of exclusion of your candidates because ample provision have been provided, monumental loss to the country of having to reconduct election on the grounds of exclusion of candidates have been taken care of.
There is supposed to be a kind of inter-institutional synergy. The media, the judiciary, the political parties, the lawmakers, as well as the executive, should all work together towards harmonization of the political processes.
The new Electoral Act 2022 is described as revolutionary, but also work in progress, especially for amendable clauses. Ahead of 2023 general elections, the guests warned against militarization of the process, while stressing the need for watertight arrangements.
Would it mean that all our electoral problems, all the problems and challenges that has to do with conduct of elections have been taken care of? No. But it means that we are moving forward. We have to make it work.
They applauded the inclusion of punitive measures against electoral offenders as deterrents that will address impunity in the electoral process. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi, Arua, NT News.
INEC has advised political parties to adhere strictly to the timetable and schedule of activities as released by the Commission. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu gave the advice in Abuja and also says the new Electoral Act comes with no extra financial burden.
A party that fails to comply with the timelines provided for in the timetable and schedule of activities, particularly with respect to the conduct of party primaries and the nomination of candidates, will not be expected to nominate candidates to the Commission for election. Is there any extra cost? Not at this point. There is no extra cost attached to the implementation of the activities provided for by the Electoral Act 2022.
Let's turn to other issues. The need for peculiar consideration for Africa to be carried along in the global clamor for energy transition has been re-echoed at the ongoing Nigeria International Energy Summit 2022. Key players The ongoing summit also called for expansion of opportunities in the global partnership occasioned by the energy transition to ensure justice for all, with the theme Revitalizing the Industry, Future Fuels and Energy Transition. The summit, formerly known as the Nigerian International Petroleum Summit, has been renamed to the Nigeria International Energy Summit. Experts say they are committed to keying into the global energy transition towards attaining net zero emission. You know you can catch us live on the go. Our website is nta.ng/live. On YouTube, you'll find us at NTA News Online. On Twitter, at NTA News Now. Visit our Facebook page, it's NTA Network News. And on Instagram, NTA Network for all the updates. We're heading to Lagos now to join Michael. He's going to give us the next set of reports.
Thank you, Ruth. There is a way of fostering ethnic integrations and remedy the looming outbursts on civil machinations. There is the urgent need to bring all parties involved in the Nigerian project to the table to chart a way forward for national peace and unity of purpose. This is the focus of a National Peace Summit in Lagos organized by Divine Institute of Chaplaincy Corps International and Coalition of Like Minds. Lynn Neneke reports.
There is no doubt that the peace of the nation is being threatened by insecurity and many other challenges posed by agitations from many quarters to disunite Nigeria. To pave way forward for a non-violent society, the possibilities for young people to initiate peace processes through discussions, skill-building workshops, and ideation is therefore crucial. The essence of this convocation is to stimulate national conversation on peace building and humanitarian services, especially in this defining moment.
The Nigerian system should be redesigned to uplift our citizens, protect their rights, humanity, and dignity.
In a message to the gathering, former head of state General Yakubu Gowon appeals to Nigerian youths to shun all forms of negative vices and be committed to the Nigerian projects. Keynote speaker, the Prelate Methodist Church Nigeria, Emeka Kanu Uche, highlighted the mechanism of sacrifice and compromise in nation building and pursuit of peace for an emerging new Nigeria.
For Nigerians to build a healthy nation, we need each other. The North needs the South, and vice versa.
Other speakers also expressed their views.
For peace to flourish, there must be that precursor of development.
We need to re-engineer Nigeria, remodel Nigeria, reorient Nigeria, restructure Nigeria. And when we do that, we will be on the path to success.
For the humanitarian services and promotion of peace, notable organizations and individuals, including Zonal Director, NTA Lagos Network Center, were presented with awards. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
The role of the media in the dissemination of accurate and timely information on health-related issues, experts say, will assist appropriate authorities in preventing and combating current and future outbreaks of communicable diseases. This was enumerated at a two-day brainstorming session by the NCDC in collaboration with USAID Breakthrough Action Nigeria and African Field Epidemiology Network in Lagos. Adiola Komiakiri reports.
Practicing journalists have in the course of disseminating information become first responders in the scheme of things. To ensure that safety and professionalism are not compromised in the discharge of their duties, this tripartite forum is of utmost importance.
We want to focus on the fact that they are not just sources of communication, they are channels of communication. And the more that we can get them to understand public health events and emergencies better, the more the population, everyone that is affected by any public health event is better armed.
Dr. Aishat Usman, who made an analysis of basic epidemiology, said editors and health reporters must be familiar with health terminologies in order to ensure standard reportage.
To build your capacity to have, to produce a better quality health stories. Because by the time you have stories, you already know the terms that we use, you know everything, by the time you're even writing your story, you're writing with technical terms and you have an understanding.
Representative of the Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control speaks further on the importance of a training session.
This is a stronger partnership we're building because as we are responding to COVID-19 pandemic, we're also preparing for the next pandemic that we don't know about, which we call the Pandemic X. And a lot depends on what we do with the lessons we have gotten from COVID-19 in helping us to prepare for future pandemics.
This two-day brainstorming session will, however, enable reporters, journalists, and editors send out the right information that will enable Nigerians make informed decisions for the benefit of all. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Don't forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA2 at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. Time now for some messages, and when we return, Nationwide continues from our Sokoto Network Center, where Nanaisha is standing by. Please stay.
The National Broadcasting Commission is inviting stakeholders in the Nigerian project, media, politicians, the academia, and civil society organizations to a two-day workshop with the theme, Broadcast Ecology and Politics in Nigeria. All chief executives and managers of media stations across the country are expected to attend. Date, 2nd and 3rd March 2022. Venue, Dover Hotel, Ikeja, Lagos. Time, 9 a.m. Guest of honor, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Honorable Minister of Information and Culture. Keynote speaker, Executive Chairman of EFCC, Abdurrashid Bauer. Book reviewers, Professor Tony Iradia and Professor Stella Okunna. Host, Malam Balarabe Show Ilela, Director General, National Broadcasting Commission.
All the thrills and all the action on Nigeria's biggest dance reality show. Glow Battle of the Year is on NTA every Sunday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Computer Appreciation for Media Practitioners. Date 21st February to 28th February 2022. 1 week. English Grammar and Pronunciation for Broadcasters. Date 1st March to 25th March. 4 weeks. Administrative Principles, Processes and Practices. Date 11th March to 31st March 2022. 4 weeks. Modern Trends in Broadcast Media Marketing. Date 14th March to 13th April 2022. 4 weeks. Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date 4th April to 19th April 2022. 2 weeks. The course fee for the 1 week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2 week course is 150,000 naira, while the course fee for the 4 week course is 180,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College, near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be. To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sokoto. Primary healthcare centers in Sokoto State have continued to perform their responsibilities despite the shortage of manpower as a challenge. Sheikh Muhammad Datti takes a look at their services and challenges in Sokoto State.
In Sokoto State, there are 816 primary health facilities, out of which 46 are primary health centers, while the remaining are primary health clinics and primary health posts charged with the responsibilities of primary health matters. The primary health centers are well equipped and drugs made available.
We have ANC, we have immunization, we have malnutrition, counseling and treatment. And then we have labor and delivery, we have family planning. We have a lot of services we are making in this facility.
Our challenges are shortage of manpower. But alhamdulillah, we are putting down our submission and it has been blessed. That is, it has been approved by His Excellency, Right Honorable Aminu Wazir Tambal, to recruit 1,192 in addition to the previous 450. And of course, another challenge is the awareness. He has given us all we need to engage in public awareness.
On its part, federal government is giving technical support to the Sokoto State Primary Health Care Development Agency in the interest of universal health coverage.
We are getting a lot of our support, most especially technical, from the National Primary Health Care Development Agency. And of course, we do consult them on whatever happens to be beyond what we can do in terms of advices, some technical support. Sometimes they even come down to the state, see our performances, make some assessment, and of course, engage us in where they feel we need to be engaged.
It is expected that more will be done by the authorities concerned towards enlightening the populace on the importance of primary health centers in their domains so as to reduce congestion in secondary and tertiary health institutions in the country. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
The need for synergy in the Say No to Smuggling campaign between Kebbi State Command and Nigerian Customs Service and the traditional institution dominated the discourse during a visit by the newly posted Controller of Customs, Joseph Atta, to the palace of the Emir of Gwandu, Muhammad Ilyas Bashar. Abubakar Garba Digi has more.
The newly posted Controller of Customs, Kebbi State, Joseph Atta, while eulogizing the traditional institution in every facet of life, restated the strategic position they occupy in the fight against smuggling and other crimes, hence reason for his visit to the Emir.
Solicited to join me in creating mutual understanding between the customs and the community, the strongest, the most respected, the most revered voice is that of the Emir.
The Emir of Gwandu and the Chairman Kebbi State Council of Chiefs, Muhammad Ilyas Bashar, said the Say No to Smuggling campaign is everybody's business, considering the devastating effect it poses to an economy like that of Nigeria.
And we urge them to give you all the necessary support, because we are all one, we are all serving our nation, we are serving ourselves.
Joseph Atta, the immediate past spokesman of Nigerian Customs Service, was recently posted in Kebbi State to head the command in Birnin Kebbi. Abubakar Digi, NTA News.
Well, that's it for us here in Sokoto. If don't forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on our YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter handle at NTA News Now and our Facebook page at NTA Network News and Instagram at NTA Network for updates. Thank you for joining us here in Sokoto. Nationwide continues with Ruth in Abuja. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nana. The Nigerian Army can now plan and execute operations with real-time coordination from its headquarters in Abuja. This is because an operations center has been inaugurated at the Army headquarters. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
It is a big leap for the Nigerian Army as the operations center is expected to shore up the capacity of troops to plan and execute operations with real-time coordination anywhere in the country. We were only allowed limited access to the new facility, but it emerged that the center is connected to satellite transmission devices and other equipment used for intelligence and surveillance.
I want to thank and appreciate Mr. President Commander-in-Chief for all the support, strategic guidance he has given us, and the confidence he reposed in us. We also appreciate the troops in all the theaters for all the things they are doing.
It is a departure from the past, where operations were coordinated in real time at the theater level alone.
To have a befitting operations center like this is an indication that the Nigerian Army is a very, very serious organization. It's a professional organization, and they are doing, the Army is doing its best to ensure the full implementation of its constitutional responsibilities.
The Army authorities are optimistic that with the coming on board of the Operation Center, its fortunes across the various theaters will enhance proactive operation. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Nigerian Armed Forces are developing the capacity of its personnel to enhance their capacity to propagate intelligence as the major driver of their operations. This is the thrust of ongoing training organized by the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Abuja, for top military officers and other relevant agencies at the forefront of managing crisis. The program also improves collaboration among security agencies and develop database that will promote proactiveness in internal security challenges.
People don't understand why it's always very difficult to share intelligence. It borders on trust and confidence. But you cannot produce trust and confidence overnight. It is earned. So when people understand the weaknesses and strengths of everybody, it becomes easier for you. Even when you are reluctant, you still want the person. Please, what I'm giving you is to class something. You have to be very careful. The need to share, the need to know is important. And so it borders on capacity and capability of those who are involved. That's the essence of the course.
At this time, we're saddled with a lot of insecurity challenges, which our forces and intelligence community are working very hard to keep under control. Every country has those developmental challenges, and conflicts arise all the time. And internationally, conflicts may arise. It's always better to seek peaceful solutions.
The training has military and paramilitary personnel in attendance. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has refused to grant the bail application by the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari. In the ruling, Justice Inyang Eko said the application had been overtaken by events following a court order by the same Federal High Court granting the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency 14 days to detain Kyari pending the conclusion of investigations. Justice Eko held that the court, which gave the order on February 22nd, is a court of coordinate jurisdiction. However, Justice Eko said the court is inclined to hear Kyari's enforcement of fundamental human rights application with urgency it deserves after the expiration of the 14-day court order. The case has been adjourned to 15th of March to further hearing. The Federal High Court sitting in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State capital, has quashed a suit challenging the defection of Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, with an intention for him to vacate office alongside his deputy, Dr. Kelechi Igwe. We'll bring you the details in our subsequent bulletin. Niger State government has confirmed the invasion of some communities of Lavun and fresh attacks in Mashegu and Wushishi local government area of the state by terrorists. Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Internal Security, Emmanuel Umar, who made the confirmation, disclosed that both conventional and unconventional measures will be adopted to neutralize the terrorists. Husseina Musa reports.
The briefing was organized to give update on the security situation in Niger State as a result of recent attacks on Lavun, Wushishi and Mashegu local government areas of the state. The Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Internal Security, Emmanuel Umar, disclosed that the stakeholders met to review the strategies adopted in order to successfully close up on the terrorists. He explained that the government, in collaboration with conventional and unconventional security agents, as well as members of communities, are committed to restoring peace in the affected areas.
We also deployed our air support using the air components. It's like a snake under the carpet that we're chasing, and we're closing up on them. We are just by the riverside, and we're doing everything possible to corner them, push them to the Côte d'Ivoire, where they will make their water leave. What is most important is that criminals are in our space, and it's our responsibility to flush them out.
The state government described as unfortunate the IED explosions in Galadima and Kugu, while affirming that the situation is under control as bomb experts have been deployed to the community. In Mina, Hussaina Musa, NTA News.
Troops of the multinational Joint Task Force Sector 1 Cameroon have neutralized several Boko Haram members. In a statement, the Chief of Military Public Information Headquarters of the MNJTF in N'Djamena, Chad, Colonel Mohamed Dole, says the terrorists were eliminated during an operation in Nigeria-Cameroon borders. Several arms and ammunition were recovered, while the force commander, MNJTF Major General Abdul Khalifa Ibrahim, enjoined troops to remain committed and promised supply of equipment to sectors. The implementation of the National Adopted Village for Smart Agriculture program, designed by the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, with over 100 young farmers selected from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abuja, has taken off in Ogun State. The Director General, NITDA, Kashifu Inuwa, says the federal government is committed to providing jobs for more than 5 million farmers in Nigeria to boost food production. Yemi Dalemo will tell us about it.
Over 100 young farmers from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, FUNAB, into the National Adopted Village for Smart Agriculture, as explained by Director General National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Kashifu Inuwa, represented virtually by Dr. Abdullahi Usman Gambo, is to expose the trainees to modern agricultural practices. He said the target is to develop the agricultural sector with digital technologies capable of increasing productivity for food sufficiency and also to encourage young youths to venture into agriculture.
What we have done at NITDA is to change the narrative by coming up with initiatives that try to integrate digital technologies and innovation gradually into agriculture.
This move will also aid the success of the federal government's policy on economic diversification through agriculture for sustainable development.
You are put on a track. You are going to be the first setters for the country. 70% of this success relies on how committed you are.
Students that enroll in agriculture program in our university are practically trained in various aspects of agriculture. So we are grateful that moving forward, we can continue to partner with NITDA in this regard.
The beneficiaries say development of emerging technologies will help in boosting food production.
So many opportunities are opened when you mobilize the use of technology in the agri-tech space.
We have a remote sensing that can assist us in knowing whatever activities is being going on the farm.
Beneficiaries were provided with smart devices, internet connectivity, seed funds, and certificates of participation. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Towards mitigating ethno-religious rhetoric and tensions across the country, the Nigerian Heritage Series through the Reading Against Intolerance initiative is seeking to promote cross-cultural learning and tolerance among children and youths. Abdulsalam Jibril reports.
Rich history. It is filled with so many great characters and so many beautiful events.
History has been identified as a veritable means through which recent inflammatory and divisive statements that promote hate and prejudice can be mitigated. The Reading Against Intolerance initiative maintains that teaching children about Nigeria's historical heritage will shield future generations against divisive voices and tendencies.
History must serve as a higher purpose. It must connect us with the past in the context of helping us understand the present and charting a course for the future.
There must therefore be a deliberate effort to restore and preserve our true identity as a people and as a nation.
Free education at primary and secondary school levels, as well as the provision of scholarships, was also central to the discussions.
You have free compulsory primary education, free and compulsory basic education. Thereafter, of course, you begin to charge, you begin to provide opportunity for tuition, for other kind of system.
Established in January 2021, the Reading Against Intolerance initiative of the Nigerian Heritage Series aims to promote tolerance, youth orientation, and improve the reading culture among youths in Nigeria. In Abuja, Abdul Salam Jubril, NTA News.
Polytechnic administrators from across the country have converged on Ado-Ekiti to brainstorm on ways of enhancing greater motivation and funding to enhance their operations. Tayo Show reports that the forum was a two-day economic summit held at the Federal Polytechnic Ado-Ekiti, Ekiti State.
Experts have identified funding as a major challenge confronting educational institutions. Polytechnic administrators say shortage of funds is more pronounced at the polytechnic level because of the strategic nature of their mandate. The forum, which drew participants and resource persons from across different institutions in the country, explored more creative avenues for raising resources for the various institutions as well as enhancing service delivery. The summit is as a resolve and determination to enhance greater development of technical education in the country.
The available human resources being the main force in this pursuit has to be articulately innovative,
which will follow the trend of aspiring world leader in economic and technological development.
In a paper titled Breaking the Jinx of Research in the Polytechnic System, Motivation, Productivity, and Institutional Progress for Harnessing the Potentials of the Federal Polytechnic, Dr. Dupe Olanyika Dosumu challenged stakeholders to improve on efforts towards developing polytechnic education in Nigeria.
We can sell artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, cyber security.
Participants canvassed judicious application of available resources while checking areas of wastages and corruption in the system. In Ado-Ekiti, Tayo Osho, NTA News.
We will join Mohammed now in Maiduguri to Sabras with the next set of reports.
Thank you, Ruth, for joining us in Maiduguri. Following prevalence of chronic kidney disease in Maiduguri, Borno State government has released funds to conduct research in an effort to curtail the menace of the health concern. In that light, Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has directed the release of 62 million naira to support research by two specialists approved for the project who received letters of engagement. Yagusu Bukar reports.
The selection of the two specialists to conduct research on causes of high rate of chronic kidney disease in Borno State followed advertisement of quality researchers who submitted proposals. Presenting letters to the two specialists who will conduct the clinical research at the cost of 50 million naira, Director, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital Kidney Center, Professor Ibrahim Umati, and Professor Babagwani Ibrahim to research on water component at the cost of 12 million naira. The Borno State Commissioner for Science, Technology and Innovation, Engineer Babagana Mustafa Malimbe said, government deems it necessary to conduct the research for the benefit of a healthy citizenry.
His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, he directed the ministry to advertise on the issue of kidney diseases in the state, where he paid a courtesy call in the state specialist hospital. And he directed the hospital management board to do pre-dialysis there, and then he now directed the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, now it's Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Technology and Innovation, to advertise for us to do research on the causes of recurrent kidney problems in the state.
According to the commissioner, recommendations from both specialists will be forwarded to the state government for necessary action. Responding on behalf of the two specialists, Professor Babagwani Ibrahim thanked Governor Zulum for the opportunity, which clearly shows his passionate interest in implementing people-oriented programs, especially concerning the health of the people. The researchers have been given 12 months to complete their assignments. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
As part of efforts in ensuring all out-of-school-age children and the less privileged have access to sound education, Borno State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, has flagged off distribution of educational materials to mega schools in the state. Miyamuna Garba reports.
These are benefiting students of mega schools expressing their feelings on what they describe as unprecedented gesture and are sure to reciprocate by studying hard to pass their examinations. About 24 local government areas drawn from Borno Central, Northern and Southern are to benefit from the distribution of education materials to include school uniforms, sandals, textbooks, mathematical set, as well as socks, among others. Chairman Borno State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Professor Bla Makagu said the distribution is a collective effort of Borno State government through better education service delivery for all BESDA and UNICEF.
292 schools will benefit from this exercise. We expect the best from them. With the quantum of instructional materials that His Excellency and other projects are providing, and with the commitment on our side and Ministry of Education to conduct a very robust supervision and monitoring, I think things will begin to change for better in this state.
Education Secretary of Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and Chairman Kondiga Local Government Council described the distribution of the educational materials as huge and first of its kind in the history of SUBEB and BESDA, and appreciated the government's concern to the plight of the people. Other speakers dwelt on the significant length of the project and promised to be supportive to SUBEB and the government. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Time for another breather. Nationwide will continue thereafter with Ruth in the country's capital, Abuja.
Interested in gaining admission into NTA College, JOS, for the 2021-2022 two-year National Innovation Diploma Program are to apply for admission through the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB. Courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects, including English language and mathematics. For inquiries, please call 0803-079-5335 or 0806-980-9807. Management Announcer.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths.
Welcome back. Ukwa West local government area of Abia State has become notorious for oil bunkering, and the Abia Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps says it is ready to match the oil thieves fire for fire. This was when the state commandant, Anyela Olowo, led a raid and confiscated some illegal refineries at Okiekpe, the headquarters of Ukwa West local government area. Kinsley Ononiwo reports.
Which were confiscated by the anti-vandal unit of Abia State Command of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps from oil bunkerers and pipeline vandals in Ukwa West local government area of the state include cans and bags of adulterated diesel, pumping machines, oil tanks, oil cooking pot, iron pipes, hose, generators, vehicles, motorcycles, gas cylinders, among other illegal refinery equipment. The Abia State NSCDC Commandant, Ayenla Olowo, decried the negative effect of the oil pipeline vandalism and illegal refineries on the nation's economy and assured the people of the state of the readiness of his command to flush out the economic saboteurs anywhere they are operating within the state.
We are mounting surveillance too to ensure that we arrest those that are behind this thing. Because by the time we arrest them and put them behind the bar, those who want to be funders will take a dressing and they will stop.
The Secretary of Ukwa West local government area, Chikezie Nwobia, who represented the Executive Chairman, commended officers and men of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Abia State Command, for their breakthrough in the fight against oil thieves and vandals, which he said has had a negative effect on the local economy.
In farm work, their activities had reduced the dividends of farming.
In Umaya, Kinsley Ononiwo, NTA News.
The federal government's policy of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty is yielding positive results as more youths are becoming self-reliant through various skills acquisition programs. The 100 beneficiaries of a free ICT training in Akwa Ibom State is one of such measures put in place to bring Nigerians, especially youths, out of joblessness. Susan Asukwa reports.
Though the policy of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty is quite challenging, the federal government, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, believes that this can be achieved. A well-planned poverty reduction strategy, if put in place, will ensure sustainable and inclusive economic growth, and one of such strategies is the free skills acquisition programs for youths, especially in the area of information technology. With almost every sector of the economy being technologically driven, Akwa Ibom State government is not resting on its oars, as about 100 youths here are trained on ICT software development with the aim of equipping them with the requisite skills.
Excellency then decided that we must do something consciously to ensure that every youth of Akwa Ibom State, at least majority of the youth, if not every youth, will have something to do aside from maybe regular government employment. And so that is what informed this program that we are doing today.
With certificates, brand new laptops and starter packs given, these beneficiaries say days of wait and search for white-collar jobs are over.
We've imparted great knowledge and we're going to be of tremendous value to Akwa Ibom and the world at large.
Beneficiaries were trained on technology essentials, data science, data, as well as network engineering and cybersecurity. In Uyo, Susan Asukwa, NTA News.
Drug abuse has remained one of the major issues confronting young people. Its negative impact on public health and safety underscores the need for all hands to be on deck to curtail the menace. It is to further drive home this message to the young people and create more awareness of the dangers of illicit drugs that a member representing Ado, Okoku, Ogba, Dibo, Francis Ota Agbo, took the campaign to his constituency. Simbiat Agbaji reports.
Data provided by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency shows that about 70% of Nigerian youth presently engage in drug abuse. This statistics stakeholders say has taken a dimension that, if not checked, will have a devastating effect on the country.
As a family, we need to show care, we need to show support. We don't need to send them away, we don't need to cast them away, because drug problem is more of a mental problem and they need our support to come out of the problem.
It is to enlighten key players and increase their knowledge on the dangers associated with commonly abused drugs that the member representing Ado Okpoku Ogbadigbo, Francis Otagbo, took the anti-drug abuse campaign to the grassroots.
It is always better to prevent than to cure, because if you allow people to abuse drugs and get addicted before you start treating them, many of them do not recover.
As for me, if I go home from here today, I would tell them effect on their health and possibly how they can stay away from it.
The 3-day event had in attendance 600 participants made up of students, parents and teachers who were trained and empowered as anti-drug ambassadors. Simbiat Agbaji, NTA News.
All right, let's find out what's happening in the sports world on Sports Update.
Ahead of the Super Eagles Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers against Ghana on March 25th, Abuja-based sports analyst Jacob Oyekale has expressed optimism that the Super Eagles will defeat the Black Stars of Ghana to book a spot in the World Cup. Oyekale, who was speaking with NTA Sports in Abuja, stressed that with the level of performance put out by Nigerian players across various leagues in the world, it is a pointer that the players will do the country proud.
I think this is another golden generation of Nigerian strikers playing their trade. Moses Simon have been, churning up assists, which is really well commendable. And Lukman Ademola, who has just switched his allegiance, has been one of the, in fact, if not the best performer for Leicester in the last couple of games.
The opening game will be played in Cape Coast March 25th, with the return leg scheduled for March 29th. FIFA has ordered that Russia complete their upcoming games in a neutral territory under the name the Football Union of Russia, without their flag and national anthem following the invasion of Ukraine. The World Cup 2022 playoffs would see Russia face Poland before facing either Czech Republic or Sweden if they win. But several nations have announced they will not play Russia because of their actions. And finally, to wrestling, Tokyo 2020 Olympic silver medalist Blessing Oborodudu says her next focus will be to win a medal in the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham this July. Oborodudu, who is a 10-time African champion, recently added another gold medal to her kitty after she defeated world champion Mirin Zumana-Serova in the women's 68 kg of the United World Wrestling's Hamid Kaplan ranking series in Istanbul. Speaking on her victory, Oborodudu said she will train more as she looks forward to making the country proud in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. With Sports Update, Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
All right, we're done with Nationwide. Thank you very much for your company. But do you know you'll be doing right by joining NTA in the fight against rape and rapists? Think about it. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.